What is the answer to a successful practice, right? Don't you want to know it? Like, don't you want to know what's the magic? What's the secret? How do I do it? Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm working so hard and yet I'm not getting the results that I want, right? You're putting yourself out there all the time and you're maybe doing content on social media and you're maybe doing some talks. Maybe you're doing in-office events and you're like, wow, we're not growing. Things aren't happening. And then there's so many other questions. Like, do I want to focus only on kids or only on babies or only on adults? Or do I want to run more of a therapeutic practice, versus a wellness practice? And then it comes down to like my team and my branding and, what I need to put out there. How many hours should I work? How often should I do a checkup? My gosh, there's so much information. It's endless. Sometimes it just makes your head ache, doesn't it? So here's the good news. So many mentors I've had in my life within chiropractic and outside of chiropractic. And Jim Rohn being one of my faves outside, Reggie Gold being one of my favorites, inside chiropractic. And there is a model, there is a set of principles both on how to run a business and how to run your practice. And it's great. Like, we don't need to reinvent it. You don't need to get out there and go, okay, what do I need to do? Or let me test a bunch of things to see if they work. Like, we already essentially know how they work. And really it comes down to what is it you're trying to grow? What is it you're trying to create? What is it you're trying to have? What is it you want to go to every day in your office, right? And sometimes that could change. A guy like me, I've been in practice 37 years and, that changed what I thought was right or what I thought was easy or what I thought was the best way to practice. That changed early on, and until I started working with some people in outside of practice. One of them, my dad. My dad ran a very successful, high volume, if you will, restaurant with my mom. And they would serve hundreds and hundreds of dinners and have wedding receptions with 400 or 500 people going on at the same time, and the bar was packed and it was great. So, I had that as a background, as a foundation. And then I worked with some mentors within chiropractic, Jim Sigafus, some of you guys know, and Reggie Gold. And then again, Jim Rohn teaching me some business fundamentals. So we've put together a lot. We've got a lot that we put together, and we're going to share some of that with you this coming week. I'm really excited. So we've got an event coming. It's live, and another word everybody loves, free. So it's live and free. What's the benefit of live? You guys can interact. You guys can ask me some questions, which is great. And I love that. We'll be able to see you, talk to you on the Zoom link, which will be wonderful. And it's going to give you a lot of information about practice. So I want to put together, which I did, that information for you so that we can share with you some of those principles. What does work and why does it work? And why is one way better than another way? It's not even right or wrong sometimes. It just comes down to what's better. Like, why would you want to work really hard when you don't have to, And sometimes what happens is, the way I think of it, we're working really hard with a shovel and not realizing somebody up the road's got a backhoe, and they're in an air-conditioned cab with music, and they can get done 1,000 more things than you can. And it's not a lack of passion or a lack of work ethic. But it really comes down from a lack of not knowing. Like, why would you know? Why would you know how to run an office? You've never run one before, right? And then, Einstein said it's tough to solve a problem on the same level of thinking that created it. So for some people, you get into practice and you keep using the same skill set in order to get yourself out of trouble. And that doesn't work either because you're using the same level of thinking that caused the problem. So again, what's beautiful is there's systems and principles out there that are proven to work extraordinarily well. And that's what I've dedicated the rest of my life to. It's to make your business, your practice better. Why? Your experience will be better as a human being, as a leader of your company, of your business, right? Your life will be better, being with yourself and your family. My gosh, how wonderful is that, right? We want more freedom, we want more wealth, we want more independence. I think your purpose is better, your mission, the idea that you're going to the practice, during the week, and it feels so much more rewarding when you're in alignment with your mission and your purpose, and you're making progress and good things are happening. So I don't want you to suffer. I don't want you to struggle unnecessarily, for sure. So listen, why does my opinion even matter? Why should you pay attention to me? So my name's Joe Borio, a chiropractor, 37 years in practice. And number one, I struggled, man. I was having all kinds of trouble when I started. It was awful. It was ugly. If you think you've had some trouble, trust me, I'm no competition, but I'm guessing my story was a little harder. And I had two wonderful parents that helped me out. I hooked up with some mentors and teachers, and I had what you guys had. I had passion and mission and a great work ethic, but now I'm tying myself to principles, and now I'm tying myself to mission, purpose, why, right? And now I'm tying myself to some fundamentals in business. And once I started to combine those, man, things just literally took off. So our practice as a sole practitioner, we had a 3-day practice. We had one of the busiest practices by volume, by number of services in the history of the profession. And I think what's more important than that, which I learned in business, is you want to be profitable too, right? So our overhead, we always shoot for that 20-ish% overhead. So, my dad used to say, it's not what you make, it's what you keep. So how much of the money you're making, how much of the money, the dollars coming across the counter, are you able to keep? And if you can't keep a lot of it, man, what are you working for? So obviously mission, purpose, why, for sure. But you want to be able to benefit financially from what you do, your services. And I got to be honest with you and totally transparent with you. You should. You should be wealthy. You should be, have freedom. You should be taking vacations and you should live in a beautiful home and have beautiful cars and have a beautiful office and have a beautiful place to serve people. That's what you should be doing. You provide an unbelievably invaluable service. So once we tie those principles and some mechanics and some protocols along with your mission, your purpose, your work ethic, man, something magical happens. So we've got a big event coming again. It's Wednesday, April 15th, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. It's the in and out practice, family practice blueprint. And in the end, I know sometimes it can be oversimplified, but it really is a blueprint. It's pretty clear, the structure, what creates growth, what sustains growth, what creates some retention in your practice. We'll share some of that with you, as well as what you can do to plug it in. And I'll definitely give you some nuggets. I'll give you some nuggets that you could take away from that free webinar and plug into your practice instantaneously, immediately. And then hopefully either after the event on the webinar, which I'd love for you to be part of our program, our family that we're creating, really a movement within chiropractic. Or maybe after you plug some things in, you'll be like, wow, you know what a great group of people, what a great mentor, coach, what a great program, protocols I'd like to follow, jump in. We'd love to have you part of the family here in the group that we've created. And in the end, as BJ often said, I love you for loving what I love. So be there Wednesday, Eastern Standard Time. There's not going to be a repeat. There's not going to be a copy of it that you can get. So you got to be there to see it and to enjoy it and to experience it. And we really look forward to joining with you and maybe get a couple of your team members on there, a couple other docs, share this link with other people, and let's do something special. Let's create something special. Let's make your life a little easier, if not a lot easier, and a lot more fun. So love and appreciate you. Wednesday, April 15th, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Click the link in the description. Register now. I'll see you there, guys.